it's Joshua E. Falker, and the question today is, what will be the best project to come out of Marvel MCU Phase 5 and Phase 6, which we got the recent Phase 5 and a few projects from Phase 6, which I'll be ranking from my least anticipated to my most anticipated, but those are just going to be my 2 cents, and I'd love to hear what your thoughts on the most anticipated projects are for the coming list. And coming in last place, we have Echo, which really was not a very compelling character in Hawkeye. I thought it was a joke when I recognized that they're relating the show to this character, and overall I'm not really excited for whatever is to come and what's to offer. Hopefully it delivers. And coming in at 14, we have Loki Season 2. Wasn't a huge fan of the first season, just the contrivances, what they were doing with the show. The soundtrack was the best thing to come out of that show, and hopefully it delivers again with that. And hopefully, again, this story is better. And coming in at 13, we have Captain America First World Order, and this one is going to be really intriguing to see what we get out of it. But overall, it feels like it's going to go over the same conflict we got in Falcon and Winter Soldier, just with him more on his own. So we'll just have to see what we get with that once it comes out. And coming in at number 12, we have Agatha, Covenant of Chaos, and an interesting villain from the WandaVision TV show, and obviously we know she's still alive, and on her own means this may be a prequel show, but I didn't necessarily feel like we needed her own show. But of course they're expanding on this and always pulling us back and trying to make us watch more, so I'm not huge into it, but whatever. And coming in at 11, we have Ironheart, which another Iron Man type of character we're getting after the death of Iron Man, and I'm not too familiar with this character, not sure how much we should get out of this as an addition to Young Avengers possibly, but it sounds interesting enough, but really not excited for it right now. And coming in number 10, we have Thunderbolt. Sounds like an interesting, really good team with the US Agent and other ones I'm not familiar with as much. So we're getting a lot of teams introduced into the MCU just in Phase 4 alone, with Guardians and the Eternals and just all these other Fantastic Four coming out in Phase 6. So many new teams into the mix. And number 9, we have the Marvels. Now, I did enjoy Captain Marvel a good bit. The Miss Marvel show was one of the better TV series that I personally thought, in my opinion. But overall, I'm not sure how well it'll intermix, but I'm still a lot more excited than probably most people who just wasn't a fan of the first, where we'll be getting more Marvels than Captain Marvel. And we got a number 8, Secret Invasion. Now, I've heard good things about the comic series for this, getting the Skrulls, and I know we'll get Nick Fury back in this. Maybe we'll find out where he actually has been all this time, and so that'll be a really interesting plot to discover, which I did enjoy the Skrulls and Captain Marvel, one of the better things of the movie. And number 7, we have Fantastic Four. Now, this is a one where all 3 renditions of the Fantastic Four were not great films, and I'm not sure how confident I am still with even the MCU, Kevin Feige handling the project, depending on who gets put in the director's seat. But overall, right now, I'm not super excited for this or all the projects prior, but there is still hope for it, that maybe we'll finally get a good Fantastic Four project. And coming in number 6, we have Blade. Now, this will certainly be something different to the MCU, bringing back Wesley Snipes in the Blade role, and just a blood-sucking hero type of guy that I'm really intrigued to see how well they portray it, with it not being as mature possibly, but hopefully the MCU steps out of their comfort zone a little, getting a little more mature, and somehow being able to handle keeping it still family friendly, if that's exactly what they're still going for. And coming in number 5, we have Avengers Kang Dynasty. Now, like I said, I wasn't a huge fan of Loki Season 1, and so I wasn't huge on Kang, on the character. He didn't offer too much, but I know there's going to be a lot more Kangs, all the different variants, so hopefully that will be shown to be a lot more better handled in the future with his character shown on screen, which comes up to our next one, which is Ammon and Wasp Quantumania. Now, Peyton Reed is returning in director's seat, and I do enjoy the first two Ant-Man films a good bit just because they're more lighthearted fun, something easier to digest in the MCU because they don't have the weight of the world weighing on their shoulders. And we're getting King in this one, so it'll be interesting to see how much bigger of a film and a threat that brings to this. But I do love the quantum physics and the complicated aspects of the science that they explore within these films, and hopefully the humor is still well balanced as it was in the previous two films, which I do enjoy more of the comedy in this than some of the other MCU projects. And number 3, we have the Daredevil season. And now this will be an 18-part season. Hopefully that will definitely fix the MCU formula that has been so bad throughout all the other series, just not knowing how to set up a good pacing and giving the bad guy a good enough time run to actually be on screen and be a threat. So I definitely think they should be handling this well. And so that's why I'm a lot more excited for this one than I have been in the past for the other projects. And number 2, we have Avengers Secret Wars. Now this will be whatever the part 2 of the Avengers movie will, because it's the second movie in 2025 that will follow up with King Dynasty. And this sounds like another sort of idea to Secret Invasion. I'm not huge into knowing what the comic runs of these stories are with Secret Wars or whatnot, but it does sound like a huge final battle type of thing that I believe is the end of Phase 6 and will be something pretty big once again. And I'm excited to see the Avengers lineup that we got on the table this time. But that leaves at number 1, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, returning with James Gunn on the director's seat to bring another masterpiece, hopefully, with all of his characters and bringing the end of his trilogy to a close. And gonna be really interesting to see where they bring a lot of the Guardians characters into the MCU after that, like what characters will die off and how that will sustain what remains of the Guardians of the Galaxy. And so that'll be just really interesting, but I'm expecting some really great things to come out of this movie. So that's just my ranking of all 15 MCU projects for Phase 5 and Phase 6, ranked thus far. Let me know down in the comments below how you would rank these projects, and if you haven't already, be sure to check out my MCU complete ranking with Thor: Love and Thunder, or the MCU franchise Riz rank right over here, and you can enjoy the other videos as well. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.